Have you ever thought, I wish I could figure out Facebook ads. I wish I could make them work for my small business. Well, they can, but there are two caveats. Number one is you have to do them at the right time in your business. And number two is you have to do them correctly. So today we're going to talk about a few tips on how to make these darn ads work for you. And I'm going to tell you two examples of two different clients that I have and what we've done with their local Facebook ads. So Facebook ads are super powerful because it's still the largest social media platform, at least for adults in the US. And you can target people by location. You can reach people who are already interested in what you offer. You can control your budget down to using just a few dollars a day. So it gives you a lot of opportunity and a lot of control. So what you want to do is start with one clear goal. And what that means is you're going to ask people to do one specific thing. You don't want to make the ad say, call us or text us or send us a message or come visit us. Too much, too many choices. So you're going to figure out what's appropriate for your business and the particular product or service you're selling. And you're going to try to get people to either call you, send you a direct message, or fill out a form, something like that. You're going to have one specific call, one goal. The other thing you're going to do with the local ad is you are going to target people that are in that location. You want people that are in your location around your business. So you aren't going to target, let's say you have a store in Nashville, you're not going to target the whole US. You're not going to target the whole state of Tennessee. That doesn't make any sense. You are going to target somewhere between 5 to 15 miles from your business, depending on your area, how far people drive in that area, what other options are 15 miles out, how is the traffic. You're going to kind of think about that and focus just on the area right around you. So you're going to be thinking, how far would people drive to come to my business? Now you're going to be thinking, oh, it's such a great business. They'll drive blah, 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 100 miles. No, it's not going to happen. So don't go probably more than 15 unless you have a real good reason for that. Keep your audience simple. Now you can get carried away like crazy with the targeting, but don't do that. So there's a few reasons why. One, you may be sending the traffic to the wrong place, the wrong people, leaving some of the people out. You want to know location. You want to know age if it's relevant. So let's say you have something that's kind of a high, takes a high income. Well, you probably want to shoot for over 30 because it takes some time to build up income when you're young. If you've got you have a assisted living facility, your only customers are going to be, over maybe 60 or so. However, you're not going to cut your audience down because it's their children that are probably going to help them find the information, find the location, and make the decision. So you're going to make sure you put that age group in there as well and go down into, 45, 40, somewhere in that range, 50 or so. So the other thing you can do is pick one or two specific interests. And let's say that you're a florist and you might say, I want people who are getting married and I want, I want males around Valentine's Day because they buy the flowers. So something like that. You know your business better than I do, but you can just pick a couple things. Now, the best performing ads will have a photo or a short video of the actual business, of your team, of you, of your storefront, using language like serving whatever city you're in, right here in whatever neighborhood you're in. So those things are going to get you the most bang for your buck. Keep in mind, you don't want a Hollywood production. So if you're creating a video, people are way more interested in reality, in what it really looks like, in authentic. If it's too overproduced, you completely lose that sense of being real, being honest, being ethical, and it doesn't work. It just does not work. Write copy as if you're talking to one person. So you're going to talk to someone about what's the problem that you solve. who is your product for? What should they do next? So you might say something like, looking for a reliable plumber. We help homeowners get fast, affordable repairs without the stress. Click today to book with us. Something simple, easy, basic. And when you're the business owner and you're a service-based business, it's always good for you to be speaking on camera. You're not comfortable in the video, have somebody else that's a big part of your business and is comfortable be on camera. Start with a small budget. Don't start with a big budget. I'll tell you something I learned about this. So start with $5 or $10 a day. Run the ad for at least 5 days, sometimes a week. You got to let Facebook's algorithm learn who to show this ad to, even though you've set the targeting. So it's important to not give up too soon and bail. You won't learn anything. You're just going to say, oh, it didn't work. I'm not doing it anymore. You've got to give it some time. The other thing you got to do is test. And when you're testing an ad, you do not want to test more than one thing at a time. So for instance, you have an ad with a video. Duplicate that ad and change only the video. Change it to an image or a carousel, meaning, 4, 5, up to 10 images, so that you can see what works. If you change too many things, you don't know if it was the wording or if it was the photo or the video or the audience. You don't know what is making the difference. So you're only going to change one thing at a time. You don't have to make 50 ads to test. You just start small. Make one tweak, make a few versions of the ad. Facebook also will let you test out your copy, and you can have 5 versions of it, and they test it for you, and they show it to different groups of people to see which wording is working best. Also, keep in mind that ads have a life. They have a shelf life, essentially. So you may have an ad that's blowing it out of the water. It's just so good. It will conk out after a while. Most of your audience has seen it. They don't click on it anymore. I already saw that. It doesn't stand out to them. They get tired of it. So even wonderful, amazing ads do have to be redone. At least your image, at least the visual part of it. Now, make sure you track the right things. The first thing you're going to look at is you're going to look at the numbers. So you want to look in your ad analytics and say, is this showing to people? And the way you do that is by looking at the impressions. There should be a really good number of impressions, and they should continue to go up. The second thing you're going to look for are clicks. Are people clicking on your ad? That's actually a great sign. Now, the other thing you're going to look for are form fills. Are they filling out the form if you've done a form? Are they calling you? Are they booking? Are they becoming a lead? So that's all super important. And then down the road, you've got to say, are these the right leads, or do I need to tweak my audience? Are these my actual customers? Some of the mistakes you want to avoid are targeting too big an area. And be careful, because Facebook tends to say your audience is too small. You need to increase your audience and increase your budget. Well, let me tell you 2 stories about that. So I have a client who is building a facility in an area, and this is a kind of a resortish, outdoorish area. And nobody goes to this area unless they are going to be accessing this whole resort type area. Okay, so nobody lives there. So they want to target only people who are in this area. And we have actually increased their budget, and only to find out when I increased their daily budget, their cost per lead went up drastically. So I called the owners. I said, look, I don't like this. You're paying too much. We need to pull back. So for them, they didn't really get more leads with the bigger budget. Their leads were just costing them a lot more. So we pulled back to where we had the budget originally, and I think that was the right place because the cost per lead went way down. The other thing is that Facebook loves to tell you to expand the audience. Well, what good is it going to do those people? Let's expand it and bring in the next town over. People in that town may not be interested in that particular resort that's located in the next town. This is very, very specific. So the things that Facebook tells you, increase your budget and increase your audience somehow, your reach. No, no is the answer. We don't want to do that. And for these ads, we have done very well. We've gotten quite a few forms. We use a form to fill out for information. This is a kind of a high level product that goes along for the people that use that resort. So we've had great success with a tiny audience. I mean, tiny, way smaller. Facebook basically said to me, you're not going to get any leads. Now, I've been doing this long enough to know I can ignore that. It doesn't mean you should ignore it, but really take stock in what you're doing and say, is this the people I want? I don't need to spend my money to reach other people just to look at, pretty metrics and pretty numbers and, oh, more people saw my ad. Well, who cares if they're not the right ones? You don't want them to see it because you're paying for that. So the other story I want to tell you is about a client has conferences. So as we got 2 weeks from their last conference, we decided that we wanted to reach out to professionals in that industry in that city. We strictly went with the city. Our ad ran in the city limits. The ad basically had them fill out a form if they wanted a free pass to an exhibit hall at this conference. So what happened was we ended up spending $281. I want to say it ran for maybe 2 weeks. $281.10 was the entire spend. We got 38 leads. We had 2 or 3 actually show up. Now you're going to say, wow, that sounds terrible. However, we had 2 people sign up for the actual conference and attend. 1 became a member of the organization. We had one of the few who showed up said, I want to be an exhibitor. I want to be an exhibitor at your next 2 conferences. So when you add together the revenue from the signups was $1,581, so $1,581, and the revenue from one of the few people who actually came to the exhibit hall is $10,000. So we're looking at $11,581, and that's as of now. We have all these people on our email list. They are our target audience, and we will continue to market to them via email. So not too bad, spending $281.10 to make $11,581 to date. Who knows what is coming in the future. But you can see a tiny ad with a tiny budget done correctly can have an amazing impact, as it did for this other client that we're talking about right now. So make sure that you're doing the right things. There is an entire playlist on my YouTube channel that goes into detail of how to set up an ad, how to figure out your budget, how to do your audience, all of those things. So we have several videos on this topic. And if you want to learn more, I'll link to the playlist below, which has the videos in order in it, and you can go ahead and watch those. Thank you so much for being with us today, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next episode.